How's it going?
Good. How you guys hanging in there?
Doing good. How are you? Turn you up.
Yeah. You guys are too tall for this. You don't even realize.
I know. I'm getting bigger.
Man, that happened super fast. So I remember meeting you guys when back in the day when you were little kids, really young. I don't know how old were you then? 2012.
I remember always meeting at those big competitions, and asking for the pictures when I was way younger for sure. I was probably 10, 11, 12 for sure.
Yeah. And I always remember thinking man, when these kids are black belts, we all have to watch out and stuff. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, wait, shit, they're blue belts, and we have to watch out for them already. Yeah, that happened fast. That happened really fast, guys. I'll get into that a little bit. I just want to ask you guys, what have you been up to during this whole time?
Yeah, during this quarantine, we just kind of been just training at home while we can. We've been surfing pretty much almost every day too, and working out in the back and stuff. So doing what we can,
Yeah, I can imagine you guys have you guys probably have a really good setup for being quarantined.
Exactly.
First of all, I'm jealous. I've always wanted to have you guys good there.
If you're blessed with this setup, look, I'll give you the quick little tour.
Yeah. Let's see it.
This is the garage. We got the mats. This is the mat area where we, do most of our training.
Nice.
Yeah, we're super psyched to have this here.
Man, how long you guys have had that spot for? How long have you had those mats and everything?
I've been living here for 5 years, and I put them in maybe about 2 years after we here. 2 or 3.
Yeah. Man, that's nice. I'm jealous. I always wanted to have mats when I was a kid in my space, but it just never really worked out, or just never really got anything going. And also, I needed a twin brother who would have the same push as me. I'm jealous. I always wish I had that. I had a brother who trained, but he wasn't so into it. So, I can imagine if I had another brother or if I had a twin, I'd be I'd be on the mats at home all the time.
Right, of course. Sometimes I take it for granted, but then whenever I want to train, I'm sometimes I just have a perfect training partner, whatever.
So do you guys have a schedule at home when you're training, or has it been just pretty much whenever you guys just have the free time?
Exactly. Whenever we not schedule, just whatever. I don't like training when I don't I mean, I know it's good too, but I prefer to train when I'm in the middle. So we just kind of got to that. We're both feeling good. It was let's go train. All right.
Who's the one pushing each other more? Who's the one that's kind of more adamant about getting the sessions in?
Me, I would say. You think? No. Working out for maybe it's the same. Maybe actually a little bit. Yeah. He likes to fight. He likes to fight a lot.
Yeah, I noticed that. So you guys are your training sessions don't look like normal training sessions I see. They just look like total scraps. Where does that come from? Is it just because you just want to get the upper hand on each other? It's just we're not in the gym, we don't need to play by any rules, or
yeah, it's a little bit of both. Honestly, it's not every sport we do, any martial art, boxing, whatever we start doing, it always starts off mellow and good rhythm or whatever, and then it's one punch will go through, say he subs you something. We're very competitive other, and we're comfortable around each other too.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm going to someone else, I won't be as comfortable going as hard, but with him I know you can take it, and at the end of the day we'll be fine. So exactly. So I'm just comfortable going super hard with each other.
Yeah, I guess there's that there. No matter who it's with, if it's not a sibling, there's always a little bit of social awkwardness when you're in the gym and kind of actually trying to legitimately kill each other. Sometimes some people can do that, but not too often. But you guys obviously know each other super well, so that's no problem. So I'm guessing flow roll is not something that you guys usually like doing at all.
Some here and there, sometimes at first we'll try to maybe to warm up, but I find it hard to roll without rolling 100%, especially with him, because it just starts so quick.
it never maybe it lasts about you guys said maybe 30 seconds or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that's pretty.
Yeah, he passes the guard, and all of a sudden I have to escape, and then he thinks that's aggressive, and then something. But
so good. What else have you guys been? Oh, sorry. What else have you guys been doing during this time? It's a lot of surfing, training, and just same old, or?
That's pretty much it. Just doing a lot of fishing too. Just trying to find different stuff. trying not to get bored.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I imagine that you see, you guys are picking all good things that are like good social distancing activities, right?
Yeah, for sure. Practice.
Nice. Yeah, I was wondering, like, so you guys, how old were you guys when you started training? Let's do a little background.
I was ever since I remember. So I was like 3 when I started, and then yeah, I've just been training ever since. Ever since I
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. So do you guys remember like a time? Is there like a distant memory that you have at a point when you weren't training? Because I don't remember anything before I was like 3 or 4. So
I'm sure we're the same. I don't really. I mean, I remember like times like I've gone to for a month and just like got away from training, had like a good vacation. I think the longest break from jiu-jitsu that I had since I was like probably like 4 was been like 2 months, probably, right? Yeah, probably like 2 months. I wouldn't say there was really a time like we weren't training. You know, like ever since I could remember.
yeah, I think this has probably been the longest time that even I haven't been able to train, and it's been about like 18 years. I think the key, would you guys probably say, is like to get better is just remaining consistent. I always remember seeing people just being on the mat, off the mat, on the mat. Maybe they were super good and super talented, but like they would just be like consistently inconsistent, where you just wouldn't see them that much.
Exactly.
Yeah, would you guys say that was probably that was super important, right?
For sure, exactly. Absolutely. I mean, ever since we could remember, we've been consistent with training, I feel like. But it hasn't been like consistently like 7 days a week, like 3 times a day. You know?
Yeah.
Consistently training like to our limit. I think a lot of people like, I don't see a lot of people train, but I see a lot of people like getting out and stuff like that. You know? And I think it's just important to like train, just a couple, like for me, like I've been training like four times a week. As long as I'm training like not even maybe more than like twice a day. Stuff like once or twice a day, 4 times a week.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's enough for me, for sure.
Do you guys feel like that's important? Like for me, so what I can say is I've been through experiences where I definitely overtrained, and then I would hate it. I would just be like sick of it.
Right.
Did you guys kind of have to ever go through that, where you'd be overtraining and then you had to dial it back, or was it something that you kind of felt like this is what worked?
But no, there's definitely been times I felt out, with my jiu-jitsu. I think a person that's been in jiu-jitsu for a long period of time, and especially like at a childhood, I'm gotten burnt out, So I've been burnt out from jiu-jitsu, but I think like what you said, stay consistent, going. Like you don't have to be training 3 times a day, going crazy.
You might have to come a little closer. You're cutting out a lot. You're cutting out a lot on it. Yeah,
I was just saying,
that might be it.
Like what you said. I've been burnt out, but I think kind of like stay consistent and then like dial it down a little bit. If you feel like it's too much. That's kind of
I realize like it's important to find a balance. I think you can like definitely overdo it where you train a lot and you think that's what's good, but there's almost like you can almost go. It can go a little downhill like if you do too much. There's got to be like that balance in between. And for me, what was always a struggle for me, and I wanted to ask you guys. Like obviously, I think I have a good idea of what you guys do, but it's also important to like find a balance and have like other things to kind of keep yourself occupied. For me, it was like only jiu-jitsu, and I was like, shit, I got nothing else to do. Yeah. So how important was like having surfing or fishing and other things like for you guys? I'm sure you've had those days where surfing was just super beneficial because it would help you clear your mind and everything.
Yeah, that's actually something I even talk about a lot. Like when we surf, like it's like one of like the only places, like the ocean, like one of the only places that I can like go out, paddle out, and like completely not think about jiu-jitsu at all. Like completely mind. Because jiu-jitsu, like as a competitor, it's always on your mind. Especially now with quarantine, like you're always like thinking about training, and like surfing's like one of the only things like that can completely like take your mind. I think it's important to have that because you got your mind wrapped up something like, too much, like all day long. I think sometimes like you just get burnt out, But surfing and fishing and all these other things, like I think it really helps us just kind of keep our sanity.
Yeah.
That's motivation.
My partner just asked her, who is the better surfer?
That depends on who you ask. I don't know. We're about the same. We'd both be in each other about the same. I think surf comps.
kind of like in training, there's never like one that's more over the other. It goes back and forth a lot.
Exactly. Yeah. You're like off and on. Yeah. I won more CCS hits than you've done like comp. So it's like the camp challenge. Yeah, I don't know. We've got against each other a couple times in a surf. I think we're like 2-2, so we're like equal or even.
Okay.
Pretty
Okay.
much. Yeah.
Have you guys like competed in surfing before?
Like super small competitions, like
Yeah.
not like worlds or anything, but like
No, I don't think anything is. There's not too many things like that, but
yeah.
but yeah. So there was never like jujitsu was always like the thing that you wanted to take seriously. Or was there ever kind of like oh man, I think sometimes I like surfing more. I think I want to take this more or do this more. Or was it always just jujitsu?
I love surfing. There's definitely been times where I've like loved surfing more than jiu-jitsu at times, but I just knew that like jiu-jitsu was my because I'm not good at surfing.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good counts outside.
So
Out a little bit, I could kind of like. Can you hear? Are you hearing clear?
I'm here. You break up a little bit, but I'm hearing you guys pretty clear. I think sometimes if you're too far away, that might be it.
Yeah, maybe we'll come in a little closer.
No, it's good. It's good. I guess I was gonna ask what else you guys are up to, but we know what it is now.
Right.
So for you guys, like, one thing I was always wondering is I noticed when I was like a kid, when I was like 16. How old are you guys now, by the way?
17.
God damn, I'm still so young. But I remember when I was 17, like maybe it was just the way the game was then. But I'm like, man, if I was a 17-year-old and competing in like those juvenile divisions or purple belt divisions or whatever now, I would be getting smoked just because the game was so different. I think the development was different. There's you guys who come up super fast. Not fast. You guys have been in it a long time, but for your age, you're coming up really fast. And I feel like you guys help grow that trend where you start seeing like Nicky Ryan as a teenager was competing with adults. I can never imagine myself as a purple belt, blue belt competing with black belts when I was at that age. Because I just, I don't know. I can't explain why, but and there's a lot of other kids I feel like are coming up now and not just competing against juveniles as well, but like competing against adults. What do you think was like a big key to like have that kind of mental maturity? What was kind of like what helped you most to kind of be prepared for something like that?
I think it was a few things. I think being introduced to like the adults class, like helps
Yeah.
me become like comfortable sparring with adults and stuff. So we were like 12, I think. Right? Well, ever since we were young, we were always trying to fight like people that were bigger than us. Just to like my mom would like move us up in division. Just a weight or age division. So we've always been trying to fight people bigger than us. And then I think when we started to like get into the adult class and kind of realize how to like get strength factor younger, I think that helped us a lot because we're always at strength, our grip strength was there, and they're adults and we're so I think maybe I think just being in that situation, like training with adults all the time, I think that really helped us get better and tough pretty quickly. I'm sure it's the same for me. I'm sure he's been hasn't been training with kids when he was I think he started kind of late though. I'm not a little later in his career, so I'm sure like when he's been training, he's probably been training like a lot of high level, adults. So I just think being in around a lot of adults kind of helps the transition into the adult competition a lot easier.
Yeah, for sure. I can imagine. I remember. Oh man, what type of setup do you guys have there?
Oh, you want to see it? It's such a weak one. Look at this. Yeah, we're propping you up on.
Oh man. So professional here.
Yeah, we gotta work on it. Maybe if we go sideways, it'd be better. No,
I don't know.
Then the viewers have to go sideways. Okay. Cool. All right, work.
So like, what's a normal day look like for you guys when you're not stuck in your house or just going into the water? Well, what's a normal day of training or week look like for you guys?
So yeah, usually so as recently actually pretty much right before quarantine, we got a spot out in San Diego, and that's where we're gonna be there for like our training. And we live in beach, and it's about like an hour and a half where we train in San Diego with the guy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to make that drive, like every day is kind of like a nightmare of a drive. So finally just got an apartment there. So usually we wake up in the morning, train 9 a.m. or comp class. If there's comp class, we go train 9 a.m. And then you just cruise the rest of the day. And then if I feel like train at night, not, then just take the day off.
Yeah, yeah.
Just pretty much finished up school. This last pretty much our last year of school. So we're psyched on that, and we're basically just training and surfing. Really, training, surfing.
That's what you're doing. I've been working out a lot more.
Yeah. So you're the one that goes to the weight room more. You do that.
Yeah. I've been trying to motivate him to come with me, but I don't know. He thinks surfing
I feel like
is
we're
enough.
different. We have like we're different cardios. You know, he likes the weight room. I like surfing.
No, we're different.
No,
No,
yeah.
yeah. But that's pretty much what it is. Like just surfing, training, and working out. Try to do that stuff.
So did you guys go to school this whole time, or were you
Yeah,
were you homeschool? Or yeah,
since like 4th grade, and yeah, just finally graduating now.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So now you're free, right?
Yeah,
Right,
exactly. For reals.
That's awesome. Yeah. So in that case, like shit. I thought I had questions before, but now I'm losing them. So, what weight do you both fight the same weight class usually, or you guys usually split? But maybe in this case it's better that he goes to weight room more, so you're not in the same weight class with each other all the time. You know, or you just eat all the food, as someone commented on here.
No, that's what doing all the food. Right? You say that in the comments. But no, honestly, that's been kind of like a strange thing for us. Like as of recently, like the weight similarities and different. Right now, Ty's like what, like how much bigger than you? 8 pounds. What do you weigh? I don't know. I think he's like 8 pounds bigger right now. So right now, the division above me kind of shit, you know. But like when we're close, sometimes it's weird to figure out who's going up.
What we're trying to figure out now, ACC for next year. Like, so if we're both gonna, be in next year,
Yeah.
6 and who would be 77? Because I'm never gonna make 6 again. That's out the window. I'm definitely not gonna ever do that again. That was way too hard. But I think maybe you could probably do it. But by next year we'll see. Yeah. Because then if you do 77, that means I have to do 88. It sucks. But it is what it is.
I think your sister said you guys are still cutting out a little bit. I'm not sure what that is.
I'm gonna move to a better spot in the house then.
Okay. Well, you guys got to give me the whole tour then. I just see the mats. Let's see what this whole place looks like.
It's the hallway.
So is this your apartment here?
Yeah. Or no, this is just the house back home in Huntington. Like,
Okay.
A couple medals.
Nice.
I hate that room with
what-
him because he snores so bad.
What are the most valuable medals you guys will usually hang up? Like, what are the ones that you would have higher than anything else?
Say it one more time. Sorry.
What medals do you prioritize, like, putting up on your walls compared? Because you guys probably have a million of them. You have a million from all these different tournaments and stuff.
Sure.
So what are the ones you prioritize?
The ones I prioritize most, I think, are the most recent ones. To be honest, I feel like the more I've been competing, like all of, like the recent competitions have been like really, really important to both of us. Like it, yeah, sure. But obviously, 500GF is Europeans, Pans, and Worlds are like usually just the ones we like to frame or just like hang up. Those are just like the biggest ones for us.
Yeah. So, I mean, like at the beginning of the year, last year, you guys were like competing on juvenile. And then, like, by the end of the year, it was a big shift where you guys were competing against black belts and everything. And like you guys said, you've had plenty of experience working with adults. You've been basically working with like adults your whole life. But what was like the couple of the biggest differences you noticed from going from a couple months ago competing in juvenile divisions to all of a sudden fighting guys like, Paul Meow and Kennedy and all these guys and, just ADCC and Grapple Fest and all these different events?
I learned how to take things a lot slower. I couldn't like in the kids division. I kind of like rush through like a lot of my movement. I realized like in that kind of like situations when you're fighting those people, like if you rush too much, you make mistakes and then like bad things happen. Because they're so good at like capitalizing off your mistakes. So I learned I had to take things slower and just being able to fight those guys. I learned I had to train harder too. That's what I learned.
You learned you had to train hard for it?
Yeah, I had to train harder for them for sure. Because I know for like ADCC and stuff, like that was like the hardest I've ever trained in my life, and like that kind of set the standard to like what I need to do now before I fight. Like I wouldn't have the same rituals. I wasn't training as hard, or I probably wasn't training as hard as I should have been, But I feel like as of more recently, like kind of when you came up with the mindset, like you don't even need to be, not like you need to be training all year super hard. You just training hard before your fight. Yeah, like, I can't always staying in shape, of course, but always like just being super ready before my fights. And that's what I realized. Just like the next level of conditioning that I was trying to get to. And yeah, just putting all that together. I'm just trying to get as much experience as possible, just fight as much. And
you guys probably usually feel better like when you compete more often. There's usually some people that like to like just kind of save themselves for bigger tournaments or stuff like that, but you guys prefer to just kind of be continuing to stay active, right?
I love to compete, so especially in the nogi scene, we've been loving it a lot. I think it's a lot easier to fight the super high level guys. I think nogi than gi, because I feel like this nogi is a lot more slippery and you get a lot more easy to deal with certain things. And gi is the grips too. The grip factor. Yeah, the grip factor. I hate grips. Yeah. I don't have grips, so whenever I sold the super strong grips, I'm just like, oh man, this is the worst.
Yeah. I mean, was that always kind of the thing? Did you guys? I know you've been doing more nogi events, but was it always that, or just kind of like getting ready for ADCC, getting ready for Grapple Fest, and fight to wins and stuff like that? Was that kind of like what changed your thought process between gi and nogi?
As soon as the nogi super scene started coming alive, kind of as of recently, before the quarantine, of course, that was really motivating us because that was our chance. IBJJF, we can't compete against the highest level, the black belts, of course. Still we're still purple belts, but in the nogi, there's no belts. You could show yourself, and if you have the skill to be up there with some of the best guys, that's what was motivating us to try and be able to be the best guys. Something we couldn't do in the gi. I think that's kind of why we started, pulling more towards nogi a little bit, just because I wanted to be able to prove that, hang with those guys. It was exciting to be able to fight, to be able to have that opportunity. I don't think definitely a lot of the older guys or in the past generation didn't have the opportunity to fight black belts. It's not really a thing that blue belts or purple belts usually have the pleasure of doing. So, to be able to do that in nogi, I think I started drifting towards nogi a little bit more. I still love gi though. It's still one of my goals to become a black belt world champion. But in the gi, I just love nogi right now.
So one thing I was thinking, I can imagine, I thought I heard you guys say this before, but maybe I was wrong. I can imagine trying to go back to after having all these cool super fights with all these black belts. The only downside to that is that I can imagine it would be tough to actually stay motivated to go back and compete against people your own age and your own rank and stuff like that. Is that still something you would want to do, or is it kind of let's maybe wait till another time to compete at these IBJJF events? And
no, for sure, it's a weird situation because I feel like I don't like to prepare for. I don't want to say if I do that competition, it's not gonna prove anything, but I've already kind of gone, to and fought with the adults, so to go back to the kids, of course, it's kind of harder to, because then I gotta prepare and still have to get in shape and still to train, because no matter what competition, I always try to go in, prepared and trained and everything. But yeah, it's just kind of deciding if it's worth it to go back or not. Just the major, not as not as much more I don't know, Denver Open or the random opens, but of course Pans and Worlds, are kind of must for me.
Yeah. Also, just because I feel every level is so high now, even at purple belt. The kids, the highest level people at purple belt can be competing at black belt as well. So it's not it's obviously different maturity level, I think, but it's still so high level, especially at the major tournaments as well. It's nothing is a gimme anymore. I feel whereas I feel maybe 5-6 years ago things could be a little bit more of a gimme now.
I agree totally, because there's blue belt juveniles, even my brother and I have been training for almost 14 years, right? 13 years, 14 almost, years, that's longer than some black belts that are currently competing, in the circuit. So it's I think that's the big conception when people think the juveniles, they see him against the black belt, there's a chance that they've probably been training for the same amount of time, you know what I mean? There's some
what do you think it is as well? Like for you guys, like you said that it was training with adults that just helped you guys improve. Really, I mean, like I said, you guys have been training your whole life, so it's not like it's been a fast period of time. But do you think it's just because there's so many different ways for people to learn nowadays? Um, you know, it's so easy. You know, picking up information, learning things. It's so accessible with YouTube and with flow grappling and all these different things. And then I feel like there's such a great generation that's starting to teach now that, you know, kids are learning faster because they have good instructors. Do you think that's probably a big factor as to why you see so many juveniles doing well?
For sure, there's so much information out there, and you know the kids are like sponges. You know, so I mean, there's even I've been doing practice teaching kids and stuff like that, and it's crazy to see how fast they evolve. Like, little, you know, there's videos on YouTube of little kids doing the craziest stuff. You know, so it's
Yeah.
level even at a young age is like it's still there. You know, they just have to figure it and still in their boots. You know.
I don't know. Those videos I was watching the kids doing the crazy stuff were you guys. That was all I'd be watching.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I remember even for me, like, there was stuff out there, but YouTube and there was no flow grappling. I didn't want to pay whatever it was for Budo videos for the DVDs to come in. I wasn't doing that. So it would be like whenever, like, you know, the Mendes brothers would be in town, I'd go to their seminar or something like that. So it was only like small little bits and pieces where you'd pick up stuff. But now it's just like everything is so easy to get.
Right. I know. Yeah. Back in the day, that was a lot harder to get. Yeah.
Man, you guys have it good now. You guys have it good now.
Definitely. So much opportunity to learn here. It's crazy at this time.
Yeah. All right. So actually, well, I guess like someone asked a question back here. Who's number one with the ladies with all that jiu-jitsu? Who does better? Who's the better talker? Maybe.
Ooh. That's a tough one. Like, just pickup game. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Kade I would say Kade approaches more girls.
Yeah.
Sure. He tries harder.
See, so you shoot your shot more often, you have a better chance of having success.
Yeah, that's true. The more lines you have out in the ocean, the more fish you catch, right?
Yeah. Good one. That's a good one.
Emmy Shire. Hope all is well, Emmy. PJ Barch. What did PJ say?
Oh, I don't know.
Comment somewhere. Did I pass it? I think it was PJ.
Wait, where are you guys looking? I'm looking through the comments.
It was someone else. Just replying to this in the comments. Gianni, do you know Barambola?
No, I don't. It doesn't work, guys. Come on, that doesn't work.
Hey, Johnny, what was your favorite win? Like, what was your most notable, like, craziest win?
Oh man. Well, now you guys thought of I'll ask you guys that after. I definitely think probably winning Kasai in New York in the final with Paulo, like that was probably my favorite. Just because of the atmosphere. It wasn't even like the tournament itself, but it was like in New York. It was right across the street from like Madison Square Garden. It was it was a cool environment. Like Paulo and I went. That's the same church that we would go to in the city. I remember the next day I went to there for like a service. And I'm like, little do these people realize what happened here yesterday. You know? So that was really cool. That was a cool experience. I got to have like, you guys are fortunate. Like you got all the major tournaments are out in California or another country. You know, there's very rarely anything super big in New York. So to have that there was cool. Like my whole family got to come, which was nice. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'd have to say that was pretty cool. You know, I think I always kind of I'm always kind of like jealous of like big events that have like big crowds. You know, like you see college wrestling, you see some college wrestling events where like the NCAA tournament there, those fans are nuts. And like you guys had that experience, you know, coaching and competing at ADCC, you got that real experience. And how was that like whole experience for you guys? Was it something that you kind of had to like compose yourself, or was it overwhelming, or was there anything you had to do to kind of like, I don't know. Tell me what you thought about it.
That was a weird experience because normally before like a fight, I'm a little bit of like a superstitious person. Not superstitious, but like everything kind of has to be right. Like, you know, I like to sleep early. You know, I like to eat this. You know, and you know, I have all these superstitions. But for that specific event, like I had to cut so much weight. Like I was up to like 3 o'clock in the morning cutting weight the night before, like sorry.
Yeah.
Like obviously like I didn't get to sleep when I wanted, and all that stuff was out the window. So I wasn't thinking so much like about my performance. I was just thinking like I was just trying to get hydrated as possible, and just think like if I can just push through this, then I wouldn't even.
I feel like the hardest part, I think the hardest the part of ADCC for Kai was like the weight cut.
Yeah,
that was the hardest opponent for sure. Like
I remember seeing you, man. You and your mom, you guys were sitting in the sauna for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. So that's what like that weight cut was like way even harder than like I had to worry about the weight cut more than the audience, more than like almost even the competition itself. Obviously not because it's like world class athletes, but like the weight cut was definitely like one of the hardest things I've ever had to do like in my life, So that was definitely like the first thing on my mind. So after that weight cut and after I'd made the weight and everything, I was thinking like, man, I just did that whole thing. There's no way I can like not go perform, Like there's no way I can cut weight for like a month and a half and just go have like a bad performance, Like so I was just at that point the audience closed me out of my mind. I was just
like all your superstitions just kind of went out the window. Like what you told me, like all your superstitions went out the window. Like I better do. I worked way too hard to like not do good,
Do you guys feel like, or this was kind of an adjustment for me, do you guys have like a set routine before you compete? Is there like a certain like just kind of routine you have leading up to it? Or do you kind of try to go with the flow? Because maybe after this, you kind of realize, okay, forget all these superstition stuff. But did you usually have like a set routine before you compete, or is it kind of however the day goes?
Usually like I like Pedialyte, some water, Tiger's milk. Always have a Tiger's milk before competition.
Oh, what? A Tiger's milk?
Bar. Yeah. A protein bar called a Tiger.
Oh.
Yeah, I love them. I always have one for competition. Just like little superstitions like that. But
yeah.
And yeah, what else is there? I think that's pretty much it. Or maybe some oatmeal for breakfast.
Okay.
Or nothing. I usually like to eat on empty stomachs.
For me, I'm not at all. I like to eat a little bit before I fight.
We're different.
Yeah. After like a little weight cut or as soon as I make weight, I like brownies for one. For some reason, after every time I weigh in, I eat brownies. Just like
brownies, even before you compete.
Yeah.
The brownie.
They're like really tiny ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Little bites. Like I don't need much. I only like 3 or 4 of them. But for some reason, like I don't know, it gets me going. And, like gets me in the mood.
I was thinking like legit dessert brownies. I was like, oh wow.
Oh no. Yeah, not like that. No, it's little cube ones. Have a couple of those and some Pedialyte, and I'm like, yeah, and then I'm ready.
Nice. So I was thinking like for all these people that would cut like a ton of weight for these tournaments, and like how much weight did you have to lose for ADCC?
Oh, that was like 25 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the go-to after it? What was the first food you got after it was all over?
I think it was like really bad a pizza from the venue.
Oh no, man.
Pizza and a bagel right after, straight from the venue because I couldn't wait. Then I went literally like 30 minutes after, got a chicken quesadilla and a taco, and then more dinner that night. I literally got to 182 within
182.
I went from 145 to 182. And
damn.
In like 2
days. No, it was like 3 to 4 days. But
isn't it a little upsetting though when you spend all this time cutting this weight, you feel lean, you're like ripped, and all of a sudden you just completely ruin your body in like 2 days?
Completely. Like I felt good. My jawline is sharp. Like like
yeah.
Out of 6-pack, and then I was just really out of shape, like really quickly.
Yeah, it's upsetting how that works. Like even for me, when I got down to 145, I remember I ate a lot too, just kind of like more disgusted with myself type eating.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
I remember before I had to fight Wagner. This was like after ADCC.
Yeah.
I looked at myself in the mirror and I remember thinking like, dude, Ty, you're like out of shape and like you don't look good. Like you need to pull yourself together. They're like, okay, I started like training harder for Wagner, but yeah, like after like a big weight cut, like you definitely gotta like wash yourself after.
Yeah. How much does do you guys notice that your game will change depending on what weight you're at? For me, it's like I can do like inverted stuff when I'm super light, and then as soon as I put on like 15, 20 pounds, all of a sudden it's just like pressure passing, just heavy over under passing for my knees.
Yeah, that's so true. That's after ADCC when we were training too.
Oh my goodness.
Same story.
I couldn't even move after ADCC.
No inverted drills, nothing like that.
Oh, he was all top. He was like a sumo wrestler. You couldn't get him down. You just make sure you stay on top.
No guard for him. I don't pull guard for like 3 weeks.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm just gonna focus on just staying heavy on people and not even moving. I don't feel like moving fast. I'm just gonna chill here for a while.
Right.
So for you guys, like, I feel like a lot of people can get you to kind of confused, get you a little mixed up because you're identical, and when a lot of people watch your matches, they see a lot of the same style and everything. But you guys know each other better than anyone. Like, what are some differences that between you two that maybe other people wouldn't know? And also for people out there that maybe want to be able to have a separator between the two of you,
Right.
like, oh, we can identify this as Tye and Kade. They have their own qualities here. What are a couple things, jiu-jitsu or non-jiu-jitsu, that are like very distinct about you two?
Well, let's see. Usually, we used to keep our hair short, but right now I'm growing it out. And I used to grow it out.
You guys gotta have either one or the other. One person's gotta go long. One person's
That's what I was thinking.
His is a little longer right now, but I gotta cut mine again. Keep it short.
Buzz cut. But yeah, I think
Calvin goes, Tye's a point fighter, Kate's a sub hunter.
I don't know, man. Those Darces in ADCC, like, I don't know that. I don't know if you're a point fighter either.
That is so funny. That's funny. No, but actually, no. I would maybe you're more of a submission hunter than I am. You definitely. I my dad just laughed in the other room. No, I think more about, like, I'm definitely more into like the pace of a fight. Like, I think about that a lot more than like submissions. Even though I still obviously am looking for the submission whenever I can get it, I really like the fact, like, the idea of like breaking someone, and like getting them dead tired before I submit them,
Yeah.
Like, I think if you get someone like tired in the match, then like the match just becomes, because they're tired, obviously. So if you can stay fresh and get your opponent tired, like, that's kind of my goal. And then of course if
that's like basically like a main difference you can like see in our matches. Like, Tye has like a upkeeping pace, but like not as much in submissions, and I think I'm more looking for submissions, but not on the same pace. A little different.
Okay. I mean, I feel like at ADCC I saw you going for a lot of Darces. You were looking for the submission a lot, but was it also kind of like going for it, maybe thinking about trying to advance your position with that submission attempt?
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely one of the things I'm always looking for. And plus, like, I'm also like a submission fighter. Like, I love the submission. I'm always looking for it. But I would say even him, you're probably even looking for it a little bit more than me. I would say he needs to focus on pace a little more, because he gets a little, like, sometimes I see
to focus on subs a little more.
I do, yeah. So we both need to work on, on other aspects of our game for sure. But
you gotta pace yourself for those black belt rounds, man. It's not 6 minutes anymore.
Definitely. I know. It's like 10 or 15 now. I know. And
How was it at Grapple Fest? I know those matches are like, I remember I think it was like 20 minutes. I don't know how long it was for you guys.
I think ours was 15 minutes. Yeah,
15. It's definitely long. I like them though. I like those long submission only matches.
No time.
Yeah,
I like that too.
Yeah.
So you guys would prefer that? Would you guys prefer that, like, sub-only style over maybe IBJJF points?
For sure.
Over IBJJF points, probably. But I really like ADCC a lot. I like the ADCC rule set.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was reading a comment there. Anything else that we could say? What, personality-wise, what's the biggest difference between you two?
Okay, so one thing, like, physically and personality, number one, give me, like, Kade has this birthmark right here.
Okay.
So if you see Ruotolo twin with a dark mark on his left leg, then that's Kade.
All right.
But personality-wise, as much as I hate to admit, like, we're so similar. As much as I hate to admit, like,
we like the same music,
we do the same stuff.
Do the same stuff. He wears chains.
You wear chains?
I guess so.
Kade likes to wear chains. I don't really wear as much. I would say you're a little more materialistic.
Okay. That's good, though. That's good. Just make sure, like, when you guys switch the hair or something like that, or cut the hair, you can't, like, switch it up. I remember there's the other two twins. I know the Maheka brothers. They're black belts in Florida. And one usually has longer hair and one has shorter hair. And I ran into one of them in Lisbon for Europeans. I was like, oh, hey, Brian, what's up? He's like, oh, it's Kevin. I'm like, oh, because they switched their hair. They decided to go the opposite direction. Like, the other kid's got long hair. The other one was going to have shorter hair. I'm like, you can't do that. That's not fair. So just keep that in mind. Just, post something on Instagram, let people know so we don't get too confused. Is that something that annoys you guys when they confuse you, or start when they get you mixed up, or is it something that you can't really blame people
It's
for?
out of my hands. I'm so used to it by now. You know what I mean? That's just happened so much that I don't care anymore.
So it just kind of goes past you guys. It's not like a super offensive thing.
I reply to both Tye and Kade at this point. I'm just like, yo.
Well, you guys do share an Instagram, so you know.
Exactly, right?
Someone asked who causes more trouble between the two of you.
UG, what up, UG? Who causes more trouble? Tye, for sure, Tye.
No,
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
You definitely do.
Maybe me. No, I would say you're the bad boy out of the group for sure. If I had to pick one.
All right, I guess.
Don't even know why, but it's just
Apparently.
Oh, Tye, apparently you're the one, nigga.
Oh, Naya said Tye. Oh my god.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Who wrestles? How much do you guys wrestle? Pretty much every single time we train. Pretty honestly, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of our training is wrestling. We focus a lot on hand fighting and wrestling.
I think that I like the part I enjoy the most is on the feet. Like I love stand up and takedowns too.
That's not something you find normally in like this generation. It's always like, you know, who could be the quicker to pull.
Right.
What kind of had you guys leaning towards that style of fighting instead of just the butt scooting
Right.
style?
Ever since I was young, pretty much right when I started jiu-jitsu, like we've always been doing judo and wrestling and takedowns when we were younger. So growing up, I've just always, you know, kept with it. I don't even know what it is, but there's just something about the feet that I just love.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of balance required, and I think surfing like a lot with it. And you know,
I think it's an area that a lot. Like, if you don't work it a lot too, you know, I think like a lot of people don't work it that much
enough. Yeah.
So that when you feel dominant on the feet, it's like a good feeling. You know, like
For sure.
if you know you can get the person down, and then I feel like because if you know that the person's gonna be on their back, then you know where the fight's gonna be, and then you work your passing. You know. So
Yeah.
Confident on you with your takedowns, and you know you can be on top. Then you just pass.
Right. You're kind of You're already predicting
Half the
fight. You're for sure gonna be on top if your takedowns are better. You know.
So I guess you guys would suggest for kids like just trying to be as well rounded as possible from early on. Would you say would be really important?
Kids is when you should be doing it the most. You know, that's when it doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't remember getting hurt with any judo or wrestling like as a kid. Now it hurts when I get, you know, like as a kid, like it's like the best timing to do it.
Yeah, so just start them young with takedowns, you would suggest.
As young as you can.
Yeah. How often do you guys get to? So say you're training full time, but how often are you able to surf usually?
Depending on like the time of like the month. Like let's say I have a fight like in a week or so. Like I don't really surf like about a week before a fight. But if I don't have any fights coming up or any matches, then I'm trying to surf every day. Whenever the waves are good, really.
Yeah. So that'll be like
surfing
after
like
training usually. Still frozen. You guys need to get better Wi-Fi.
Sorry, you're cutting out a little bit.
Oh,
You guys good now? You guys see me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. These kids, man. Kids, man. Guys, if you have any other questions, just let me know. We have about 14 minutes left, so I'll try to get them on here again. What type of internet do you guys have there?
There we go. Not very good internet.
What were we just talking about? We were talking about wrestling a little bit. We're actually talking about surfing a little bit.
And surfing, wrestling, and surfing.
Wrestling and surfing. They little do you realize how they go together.
Right.
Seriously.
Gianni
So
Grippo.
I had a couple other questions for you guys. Someone's knocking on my door right now.
You're good.
Yeah, my roommate will get the door. We live on like a ground floor here, so sometimes we get random people. They don't even realize they just walk in our door. They come in the wrong apartment. We're like, no. What are you guys doing? We've had drunk people come in here. It's kind of a party town. So, yeah. So I had a couple questions. I think these might be fun. Some people haven't been so into it, but I think you guys might like them. So, if you guys can think of this, what's the worst advice you've ever been given?
The worst advice.
Worst. We don't need to name names either. Maybe if you can't think of it, we can always go somewhere else. There's another one.
That's an interesting. That's a good question. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I mean, I'm sure I've been given some pretty bad advice before. Probably some girl advice from this guy.
What would usually be the advice that you'd be giving him on that?
What was that? I'm trying.
What would be the advice that you'd be giving him on that?
I don't even know. So the word, honestly, I get a lot of good advice. I'm always around like Andre or like
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's hard to really say because I feel you guys have always done well at surrounding yourself with the right people.
For sure.
So let's just say, well, we can come back to it if it pops up in your mind.
Yeah, I'll think on it.
Okay. Do you guys consider a hot dog a sandwich?
No, it's a hot dog.
No. But then what is it then? It's just a hot dog.
It's a hot dog. It's its own thing.
It's its own. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think hot dog's more of a hot dog.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We got a comment here. Please ask them who has the better darts. Who's better with the darts between the two of you?
That's a good question.
I think I did.
Yeah, honestly, most of these questions, it's just it's
No,
so
but
close.
in all reality, though, it's a really tough one.
I'd say it's equal.
Yeah, it really is equal. Yeah.
So you guys, it's really hard to differentiate things between you two besides your hair and birthmarks, right? Everything's maybe one wants to go a little bit more for the crazier submissions, you know.
The thing is, like, our whole life we've been competitive to like the point where not one of us is better at each other. You know, like we don't really let that happen. If he's better than me one day, then I'm gonna be better than him the next. You know, so it's kind of like we're always,
Even like you could literally like say you play tennis for like a year, and I didn't know I don't even play tennis. Like I feel like you smoke me to death. I feel like I'd be able to smoke you the next day or something just because of like our rivalry. No, it never happens where one person like constantly is over winning or something.
Yeah, you guys can never let each other get too far ahead.
Yeah,
on each other. It's always gonna stay even. Yeah.
More significant.
Not at all.
Well, is there anything you guys do that you don't do together that you like? You guys kind of have your own thing.
I mean, if it is something like I like to do origami every once in a while. Like I'll make like a little like crane or something. But like if it is like something small, like a little hobby, it's not like we're both training and doing everything together.
So not too much. We're always training.
No, I mean, honestly, it's pretty much we've done everything together. That's crazy to think, actually.
I hope I'm not like opening some weird doors here where it's like, oh man.
Yeah. Now I'm just starting to think.
I'm making you guys rethink your lives right now.
Oh, that's true. That is true. She goes, Ty fixes stuff. I like to fix things.
Yeah, you're more of like a handyman.
Actually, that's a good difference between us.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I finally got an answer from you guys. Jeez, it only took me 50 minutes to find something different.
That's fun.
Okay, this wasn't on the list, so my social media person gave me some like just random questions. I came up with this one myself because I was curious. What are your go-to acai toppings? And is that different for you guys, or do you guys both have the same?
What was it?
What are your go-to acai toppings? What are like the number one? Yeah.
I like to keep it simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think less is more. Sometimes I'll even just go straight acai and some honey.
Yeah, I can hear.
Yeah.
Because then you get the full like appreciation for the acai itself. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I need the granola. You can't really like you kind of messes with the texture a little bit, you know. But
I hear you. I hear you.
difference between us. I like all the toppings: kiwi, strawberry, banana.
Ah, now the answers are coming out. Now the differences are being exposed. Yeah, I was always curious because I'm like a foreigner to like acai, especially being on the East Coast. And people would tell me, "Oh, you don't appreciate the acai enough if you put too many toppings," but the toppings add something to it as well.
Right.
You know.
It's
So.
a question. Yeah, it's definitely controversial.
Tommy, we eat snow instead.
Yeah.
Are you guys snow people? Would you guys be able to handle living in?
That's
living
funny.
in. Nah, it's,
What else we got here? Got bread and meat. Someone asked if either of us have girlfriends. What's that?
You guys still there? You can hear me? You guys can hear me all right?
Cutting out a little bit.
Yeah, I can hear you. You guys are just, your internet sucks. Okay.
You there? Is this better?
All right. That's better.
Can you hear me?
That's better. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I
need to get this.
We got 7 minutes.
There
We got 7 minutes to get through important questions here. How do you guys feel about pineapple on your pizza?
Ooh,
How do you guys feel about
it?
You're fine with it? You're fine with having like fruit on your pizza?
Yeah, that's all right. I don't mind.
You don't mind?
Yeah,
You're down with it?
Yeah. What about you? Can you like pineapple on your pizza?
Yes, love it. I love
pineapple.
Actually one of my favorite fruits.
Oh, really? Okay. Because I love pineapple and I love pizza, but I can't have them to go together. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It's like pineapple is too much of like a diet thing. And then I'm like, I don't want any. I eat enough fruit when I'm cutting weight.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat it while I'm not cutting weight.
It just ruins the bad food experience for you.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this? I'm kind of like cheating on eating bad here.
No, yeah, it's funny. Like the other day, like I went in my pantry and I seen the same brand bars like that I was eating for when I was cutting weight for ADC, and it had like some low calorie, like 50 calories, right? And I went and I ate it, and I remember back at when I was like cutting weight, like it tasted so good. It was heaven when I could have one of those, you know?
Yeah.
And I took a bite of it the other day, and it was like the grossest thing to me. Like I couldn't even look at it. I was like, yeah, get this away from me. Like, this is so gross.
I want a Snickers. Like
yeah.
No, it's crazy how your taste buds change. I remember like I ordered like this meal prep when I was cutting weight, and it would be like all this really basic food, but to me, when you can hardly eat and you're cutting weight, it tastes so good. And I stuck with that same meal prep probably after eating bad for like a couple of days. I'm like, okay, I need to do this again.
Yeah.
It was it tasted like cardboard. It was horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how they change. It's like I don't even know if your taste buds change. I think it's just your mind. I think it's your mind.
Yeah, you just want anything. You'll be happy with anything when you're cutting weight. Okay, so one important question. This is probably the most important question you guys will get. So it's a hypothetical. You ready, guys? Ready? You still there?
Yeah, ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is, who would you rather fight? Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck, so a duck the size of a horse, or would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses, so 100 horses the size of ducks?
100 duck-sized horses.
100 duck-sized horses.
Yeah. You both agree?
100 horses the size of ducks.
A duck?
You say definitely, right?
Of a horse. Lethal. Yeah, absolutely. 100 little duck horses. Yeah.
You see, you could be the high. You can have the high ground.
I agree with you.
You could just. We were talking about the other day. You can just punt them all. You know.
Yeah.
But the problem with
exactly
a duck that's like 2,000 pounds too.
You don't need to do bear. You might fight a bear.
See, I think you guys think logically because everyone else would rather fight the 2,000 pound duck. You see, Tommy knows as well. He's saying, kick the ducks. You know, like that. I'd rather do that.
Horses the size of that. That's funny.
Yeah.
And
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
So that was actually a lot easier than I thought. I was kind of hoping you guys would hoping you guys would debate on that.
remember Emmy from school?
Yeah.
Pretty logical thinking.
to go with the 100 mini ones because
A duck the size of a horse is just that would be ridiculous.
they can
Yeah.
fly
See, now I'm
too.
gonna go back to all the people that were saying like the huge duck, because I don't know. You know, I didn't really agree with that one.
Yeah, neither do I.
What's another one? Okay, when you guys are training, do you ever have like non-training thoughts while you're training?
Yeah, all the time. Of course.
Yeah.
Really?
What
Yeah.
what would it usually be on?
Oh, it could just be about anything.
Kade's a wanderer. Sometimes I'll just look at him. He'll just like sit and like think, you know. So he for sure's he's thinking about some random stuff during class. Actually,
I like a lot.
there's sometimes when like I'll look at him during techniques, you know, and he's just kind of like drifting. And I'm like, dude, come on, like, look, focus, you know, like Kade's a drifter, you know. But I wouldn't. I try not to think about it while I'm training. I try to focus on training when I'm training. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm also having fun too. So yeah, you know, I do think about other stuff.
I think it just depends how hard I'm training. You know, if I'm training super hard, maybe not much, but like a mellow.
Yeah, you're gonna be like in the zone.
Something. Then I'm like, I might wander a little bit.
Yeah. I can sometimes be like I can sometimes be the guy where I'm like, okay, my partner does the technique first because I'm not sure how much I was really
You're in the zone. You're in the zone.
I don't know how much I was really paying attention during the technique. I'm like, oh yeah. You go first. You go ahead. You know. What else do we got? Let's see what else. Did you guys think of anything with worse advice that's been given? Did you come up with think of anything at that time or?
Yeah. You got it.
I can't hear you.
I'm thinking you're doing him a favor.
People tell me if you can hear anything that they're saying.
Have to be just from one of my friends, one of my surf friends that like art is like as a role model of me. You know,
I think you guys are super delayed.
Stupid. But,
Hold on.
yeah, but there's nothing like
Yeah, I think you guys are really delayed.
nothing too bad I could think of that just put me.
Guys, no, I still can't hear you. Guys, we got about 10 seconds. 10 seconds. You want to just wave? Just wave goodbye? Sorry, guys. Sorry.